any situation that I have, any challenging situation I have, it actually wouldn't last. There would be a sunny day the next day. And I always look forward to that sunny day. And for me, that is hope. My name is Joana Bacallo, and I'm a water entrepreneur. I'm a water girl. I'm a flight attendant by day. But the most important thing is I share hope.
Welcome to I Share Hope, the podcast where world leaders share their real stories of hope and how you can use actionable hope to start changing your life today. And now, here's your host, Chris Williams.
Hello.
Hey, Joanna, how are you?
Hi, Chris. Nice to see you.
It's good to see you, too.
Hello from Dubai.
I was just about to ask, so where are you today?
I am actually in Dubai. Yeah, it's my off day, so yeah.
That's cool. So what are you based out of? So you're an international flight stewardess, right?
Yes, I live in Dubai. Yeah, in
So
the
you live in
United
Dubai?
Arab Emirates. Yeah, we all live in Dubai. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's great. And
So
then
if you want to ask about the weather, it's currently 55 degrees. It's very nice.
Wow.
And yeah, this is a good day.
That's
It could
great.
get worse. So
Good for you. That's great. Hey, I'm getting a little bit of noise from your microphone. Is it your headphones, you think? Are they bouncing around somewhere?
I think it's my headphone. I'm in headphones right
Headphones are great, just so it's not hitting up against anything too hard.
now. Okay.
Nope, that sounds good. That's better. So, are you how many days a week or a month are you actually in Dubai? Like, what's the life of an international flight attendant really like?
Good question. I always get that a lot. I would like to think, Chris, that Dubai is the place where I sleep. Is that good enough? Yeah.
Does it mean it's the only place you ever get to sleep?
Yes, but we actually sleep in the plane too. So we get to sleep on the plane because we do 16-hour flight to the United States, actually.
Oh, wow, cool.
Yeah.
So
Direct flights. Yeah.
Are you a good plane sleeper? You must be.
I am. I have to.
What's the trick? Okay, so I have the noise cancellation headphones and I have the pillow that goes around my neck, and I constantly am blocking my eyes out and I still can't get it. What is the trick?
The trick is to hydrate before. And I know that I told you about my works with water,
Yeah.
and that's the only secret. Hydration before the flight
Helps you
and
sleep.
during the flight.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
You
So
know,
that you don't get the jet lag.
I do the exact opposite because I think I don't want to have to get up and go to the bathroom 10 times on this long flight, So I just, okay. Well, there we go.
You
That's
you have to try it, Chris.
And that's a great word from you, the water girl. We're going to call you the water girl. That's perfect coming from you.
Thank you for inviting me to share my story.
I can't wait to hear more about it. I really can. So it's Joanna, and say your last name for me so I get it right.
It's Bacallo.
Bacallo. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right, Joanna. Well, you are an international flight attendant by day or night, depending on the flight. And
That's
then
true.
in all of your off time, if I get this right, you're devoting so much of your time. Literally, your birthdays, you're doing crowdsourcing and all kind of stuff.
Yeah, done it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're bringing awareness to issues of water and sanitation all over the world in developing or third world countries. Am I right?
As much as I can, and all the days off that I have, this is where I spend my free flights and my days off. So, yeah.
So
I really enjoy it. I really
it
do
sounds
enjoy
like
it.
you do. You're contagious. It's just amazing. So what got your attention the very first time when you said, wow, this water thing, that's what it's got to be all about?
I would say that it was the time when I was going back and forth, finishing my dissertation for my postgraduate. I was doing an MBA course for aviation management, but it focused a lot with airport operations and airline operations because I said there would be a time that I would stop traveling and flying. So I wanted to work on ground. So I wanted to understand my whole environment. And the only way for me to do that is to actually focus on the things that I see on ground, but aviation related. So I was studying here in Dubai. The professors come to Dubai. Sometimes I submit my papers in Coventry University in the UK. So I was back and forth. And I picked the airport of my choice as my hometown in the Philippines. So I was back and forth most of the time. And I have to do a 9-hour trip from Dubai to the Philippines to talk to airport managers. And of course, I have to go home. And after a long flight, I just get so frustrated not to have water available in my own apartment. And I have to get water from the store. And I felt like it has to be available. I don't want to boil the water. And I know that we've always done that before, to boil the water first before we drink, or buy a bottled water. But I just thought, what if my apartment can be a source of water? I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm in the aviation sector and I'm in customer care. This is what I do for a living. But I just told my friends, do you think it's crazy that I wanted to challenge myself and say, what if my apartment or any place can be a source of water for my neighbors, just a refilling station? And I mean, everyone's doing it, but maybe I can do it better, cheaper, more effective delivery, because it can be done. And I used my background on customer care and the things I learned from MBA class, and all of suggestions from my professors and some friends on different industries. And next thing I knew, I was building a startup, and I was 9 hours away from my startup. So I think it can be done, Chris.
It
It can
definitely
be done.
can. That's so cool. What a great start. I love
So
that.
that's me. So if I introduce myself to you, I don't know how to actually start it, because I just say I'm Joanna. I'm Joanna, the water person. I'm the water girl, because I cannot tell you the different aspects of my life, because it comprised of so many things. And I think I'm not the only one. There are so many people out there who's this beacon of, I would say it's cool to live different lives and to manage your energies and to travel and to see different experiences and impart this to the world through social media. So that's why I knew I have to share you my story, and I'm so grateful for you having me here.
Oh, I can't thank you enough for taking the time. Thank you. That's
You're
great.
welcome, Chris.
So, okay, well, let's do this, Jonna. So you're there in Dubai, and obviously water's a big part of this story. So you're
Mm-hmm,
bringing hope to a lot of people around the world, not just in one little community. But
mm-hmm,
that's why we found you and tracked you down, because we're
mm-hmm,
interviewing, as you know, 1,000 people
mm-hmm.
who are really sharing hope with the world, and we want to make sure that we get the answers to these questions from you, because I think you'll have some good insight. So can I?
It's a pretty big job, Chris, to it's like on your shoulder that you spread hope. And then when I got this information, I felt like I'm just doing my thing. I
Yeah.
felt like I was just doing my thing, but I did not know that I can be seen on a different light. So I'm excited to share my adventures. So
Thank you. I'm excited to hear about them. So let's do this. Let's ask these 5 questions, and then we will get into more and more of your story and how you actually do all this stuff as we go along through these questions. How about that?
all right, Chris, ready?
Okay. So, question 1 is, what's your favorite definition or favorite quote about hope?
There are so many books that I've read in management and also in philosophy, and even I don't know, new age philosophy, but I always go back to this favorite thing that I hear from my parents and my grandpa, most specifically. I was born and raised in Manila in the Philippines,
Mm-hmm.
and a tropical country has only two seasons. It's sunny or raining. And at that time, I'm the only one among all my cousins that I just like to play outside, and I'm always climbing trees. And if it's raining, I can't do that. I can't take on my bike and I can't play outside. And I would always get upset. But my grandpa would always say, it won't last. The rain won't last. And he was always right. The rain won't last. And I always grab onto that he says it in Filipino, which translates, it wouldn't be raining the whole entire week. You will have that chance to play again. So just stay here and hold on, because the rain won't last. And I carried on in my life and adulthood, that any situation that I have, any challenging situation I have, it actually wouldn't last. There would be a sunny day the next day. And I always look forward to that sunny day. And for me, that is hope. And if you instill that to your heart, and I know that other people define hope through other people that they look up to, that is the time that they nurture it through their experiences. But for me, it was that. It was again about water, but in a sense where I wouldn't say negative, but rain for us is associated to you can't do anything because it's raining and it's always flooding. So I would always say it wouldn't last. Any situation that you have, if you're in a bad mood or in a bad phase of your life, it wouldn't last. So you just have to endure. And that's the phrase that I live by for a long time.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. What a great grandpa. So maybe he's the one, but question two is who's shared the most hope with you? Would that be him or somebody else?
My grandpa played a lot of role in my development as a woman that I am right now. Although the time that he moved and migrated to California, so all my relatives are actually in California.
Wow.
And yeah, we have a big community of Filipinos in California. And I would always remember that he would always send us some crayons or pads to write onto. So he was my something to look forward to always when he goes home, and we would have a celebration. But my parents raised me, my mom and dad. We were in the Philippines, and I would say that a great part of my education in terms of formation is going to be my parents. And they are not together anymore. But in the Philippines, we don't have such thing as legal separation or something like that. So I was growing up. I'm sorry. I mean, you told me that it's okay to be vulnerable. I've never had shared this before, but I thought maybe I should not share it. But on the other side, Chris, I felt like I'm sure there's so many young women who grew up with no parents. And I think they would relate to that. And that is the start of impact.
You're right.
To tell your story, and you shouldn't be shy about it because there would be people, one or two, that would have an impact. So my parents taught me a lot of things when it comes to our formation, and then they have to go abroad so that we would get a good education. So on the 1990s, there's a lot of Filipinos, they call it Filipino, overseas Filipino workers. So they go to the Gulf most especially because they needed workforce. So my dad went to Saudi Arabia and my mom went to Abu Dhabi. So I grew up with my sister. So I have two sisters, and my sister, I'm the middle child, so they were my family. And there was a moment that we were just left in between, fighting, or two grown up that makes different decision, and they are my heroes before, and now they're gone. So I don't know what to do. So I look up my sister, my big sister. We call them ate, and we just continue. That was the most memory that I have growing up as a young teen to my adulthood. So if you try to
You broke
get
up a little
on,
bit there. You said you just had to continue on. So when your parents split up and y'all were alone, you just had to continue?
yes, I was living with my sisters, and at that time I need to go to school and at the same time work. So
Oh, wow.
I
How
was a
old were
work,
you?
yeah.
How old were you
I
then?
was probably like 17 to 18.
Yeah.
So and my youngest sister is she's like four years younger than me. So we were looking after each other. So that was the whole culture. Maybe I don't want to because I wanted to play, I wanted to discover things, I want to travel, but no, I have to be a parent. So and I subject myself and I embrace that. And I think if my parents divorce, although we don't have divorce, if my parents' separation would not happen, we would not be this woman that we are right now. So I would not change any single thing. Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. So
Yeah.
even a really big hardship that you may have changed in the moment, I would assume, but looking back, you say, no, this has actually been a good thing, a point of growth for you. Is that true?
Yes, that's
Wow.
why um, when you ask me the question about who are the ones that gave you hope,
Hmm.
they're the people. I mean, even if they left us or if they made different decisions that I don't understand when I was growing up, the things that they taught us, we used that. We were not rebellious or we were not resentful. We have to focus on what we have right now because we have to enrich what we have, and it would not last, right? Like
Right.
this rainy day is not gonna last. I'm sure in the next 1 year there would be a sunny day. We would get on with our own lives, and we will have a different atmosphere. So
Hmm.
it went on for good maybe 5 6 years that we were just alone. So
Wow.
yeah.
I'm glad that you are who you are today. I really am. If that's what's formed who you are, then that's great. So, question
Hmm.
three is tell us about a time and take us back to that place in your life where it's been really hard and you've had to lean on
Hmm.
the kind of hope you're talking about. And maybe you just did. That was a great illustration of that. But is there
Hmm.
anything else you want to talk about there?
So I would love to talk about the part where I said that there was a moment in our family that I don't understand why adults do this. Why do they do this? Why are they fighting? I don't understand. And I have to work. I can fund my education because my parents were gone. So I don't understand. And I have to be a parent to my youngest sister. And at the same time, I have to coordinate with my sister. So we were all like in that limbo, like lost. So either I have to, I don't know, like just get away or just resent this whole thing or keep calm and actually coordinate with my sister and stick with your values and the principle that your parents, when they were here, taught you. And it would not last. So this is a very difficult time. And maybe the hope would be forgiveness in the future. I don't know how forgiveness looked like. So forgiveness happened when my sister got married and there was a big celebration, and my brother-in-law, actually my big sister is in the next town in Abu Dhabi,
Okay.
so I can see them. It's an hour drive. So when she got married and we went back home, my parents were invited, so I've never seen them for, I don't know, maybe a decade. And it's
Really?
going to be yeah, at that
Wow.
time.
Wow.
And at that point, like they saw us when we were just teens, and now you had three grown-up women, and I don't know. That's gonna be weird. I'm
Yeah.
sure I'm not. I'm sure I'm not the only one who had experiences when it comes to family conflicts or something like that. But I felt that. Okay, I was so tense. I felt like I'm the one getting all the celebration, but my sister was so calm. She invited them. What if they do it again? I don't know. So they were there on the table. It was a big celebration in the northern province of the Philippines. And then I said, what if my dad talked to me? I don't know what to say. Like, what if my mom said hi to me? I don't know who's going to say first. But I just saw my dad and I paid respect. In the Philippines, we grab the elder's hand and put it in her forehead. We call it mano. And that's the first thing I did. And I told my sister, if forgiveness has a phase, or if forgiveness has um, an attitude or an act, that would be this particular moment. So
Wow.
three of us saw our parents for a long time. We haven't seen each other for a long time, but this is the first thing we did. So this was the day that I said, from this day on, it's gonna be okay. And remember, this is the sunny day that I was looking forward to, and it happened, Chris. It's true. It wouldn't last. The rain wouldn't last.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's really brave. That really is. So your dad leaves when you're a teenage girl and 10 years later you see him and the first thing you do is show him a very strong sign of respect. I
Yeah.
mean, that's
It's true.
powerful. That's really powerful. That's hard to do.
I, it is quite difficult to do, especially if you're full of hatred. It's a heavy thing. You have to release it. I don't know why people can stand so much anger and so much resentment and then just leave it here, and it any place you go to. Like, I remember, Chris, before I was traveling and I had this situation where, I wish my parents are with me right now. We can be traveling, they can be retiring, but they made different choices. But it was not the time. And because I was not completely letting go of the whole hatred idea. I hate my parents. I'm sure I'm not the only one who said this. I hate my parents. I don't understand why they left. Why did they do this? Why are the grown-ups acting so weird? Is it my fault? I did not write many emails to, there's no email before. I did not write a lot of letters to my father, or did I not become a good student? That was all in my head, but you just have to let go. Any country that I visit, even I go to the most beautiful country or to the least beautiful country or hectic country, you still carry it. So it's not the destination. You carry it in your heart. And the moment you say, I will take responsibility of my own past and be at peace with it, that is the only time that you're going to see a lot of things that are overseen. Like this advocacy that I have right now, who would have thought? So that was the start of the story. From that dark moment, this is the time where I said I was able to figure everything out.
Well done. Well done. Forgiveness, that's a big deal. Well done.
Mm-hmm.
Question 4 then, how are you sharing hope with people today? You have so much here. I have no idea where you're going to start, so just dive in.
As I've told you, I was going back and forth to the Philippines, and in that whole process, I was able to build a startup. And a very good friend of mine, I went to university with, Radel. He's the one who manages my operation. So I just pretty much left everything with him, and it's working under his care. And I always go home on a Manila trips and I see the difference from before and after. I actually thought I'm just giving access to water. I just thought I was earning money out of the entrepreneurial venture that I did. But looking back and comparing and trying to contrast to the different countries that I visit to or places where I go to, I am actually providing clean water in a small community, and the people that I cater to are the massive population, and they're not they're not well off. They're community-based families, and they have the least access to the water. So I felt like, hey, I mean, now that it's all running, I kind of step out from the venture and I look at water in a different light. So how am I going to learn about water? But my background is into aviation, and I'm a flight attendant by day. So it's kind of complicated because I don't know where to start. So the power of social media and the power of technology, I started to research on probably conferences, engagements, or free documents online where I can learn about water. So I stumbled upon an event called the World Water Week. I always mention them because that's where I'm able to start this whole thing. It's called the World Water Week in Stockholm, held every summer in Sweden. And I went there, I took an Airbnb, and I just went there. I said, I've never been to Scandinavia, so might as well go too. And I did not expect that was the most important event for water. So I went there and I introduced myself and I took the responsibility to learn. I said, I'm not from the industry, but I'm here to learn about water. And I think that this generation that we have can actually end water poverty. And from that day on, I was trying to connect myself with people who are very important and doing relevant works about water. And sanitation. So I introduced myself that I am not into the industry, but I'm telling you, I can travel anywhere. So I'm going to use this platform to either spread awareness, to do volunteer works and organize events as much as I can, as far as I can. And the world is just flat and it's in my hands. It's my playground. So I'm going to do this as much as I can, as far as I can, with the limited amount of time so I can have more reach. So I learned about water, and I was engaged into this group called the Young Professionals for Water. They're under 35, and they're all on different industries too. But the only common thing for us, we wanted to learn and we wanted to make some changes, either into their own lives through sanitation, trying to engage into this works, or trying to get people clean water. So the water entrepreneur shifted into a much deeper context, which is me trying to learn about sanitation. I didn't know water can be connected to energy or to women, to gender. It's amazing because I told you this platform. So if I tell you, where do you live? I am Joanna. Do you live in Washington, D.C.? Can I meet you in Washington, D.C.? They're from the World Bank. And then, yeah, okay, let's have coffee. And then I just started to learn. And so on my own little ways, and usually I make it more fun and artistic, I organize events and I crowdfund, and I'm able to start water projects. And you just have to partner. I think there's power in partnership, Chris. And it happens. It's fun. You meet so many people.
That's so true. What a cool idea. I'm so impressed. It's so great. So you actually
So
started a successful entrepreneur endeavor in Manila.
yes, it's in Manila. And then from that moment I started to step back. That is the time where I saw I should not limit my vision into the Philippines, although it opened my eyes into this whole world. But I have to go international because I can, and I have to use it because I'm the one who had this vision and this platform that I can go anywhere. I can meet friends, I can learn, and I'm encouraging people that you can do the same too. And the only challenge that I face right now is to tell people, mostly young people, how do you put and open a conversation about a very unpopular topic about water stress. Like, who cares about water? Water is, you open the tap, you get water. Some countries, they even drink from the tap. How to open this conversation? And the only way for you to do that is to use their own language, maybe art, music, crowd work. So my latest project was when I did for my 30th birthday back home in the Philippines, and I encouraged all my friends. I said, look, I know we wanted to celebrate, but maybe we can do a bigger party for 200 kids. And I contact some of my lawyer friends, and they have another organization called One Portrait, and they're a photographer kid. I supply their school supplies for the entire year. I crowdfunded, and two girls from Brazil heard about my initiative. I haven't met them. They came to my country. I went with them. I took them to the mountains, and next thing I knew, I'm starting more projects with this group, focusing on the highest elementary school in our country. It's 8,000 feet. So
Wow.
now. Yes, I'm crowdfunding for these kids, but I wanted to install some drinking fountains for them so they don't have to climb down and or buy water or get the spring water to get water to drink on the entire school year. So it can be done, and I'm gonna do it.
I love it. It sure can be done. I'm sure you will do it too. All right, question 5. How can I share hope? So we get done with this call and we move on, and everybody listening along with me, learning from you, we take off the headphones and we're done. What do we do next? What are the simple ABCs to sharing hope with somebody else?
To share hope is I always try to mention to take that responsibility that I wanted to share hope, and you have to stick with it. You have to cut all the excuses on not to do it. So I said in the beginning, I spend most of the time the aircraft, trying to look after passengers. I would be very tired, or I live abroad, or I can't do it. I'm too young. My resources are limited. You have to stop that. You have to make it work and try to get on. Why are you doing this? If you know your why, I always have to emphasize, if you know your why are you doing this, the whys, or the hows on how are you able to connect with these people will just follow. So take responsibility. And then second would be, what is your available resource? My available resource at the moment is this occupation that I have, or my day job. So with this, I'm able to tell them that, hey, I have been to Bangladesh. I have connected with people from Bangladesh, and serious water problem and flooding happening here. And I'm sharing this to you, and it's so uncomfortable. With any occupation you have, may you be in the marketing industry, are you a filmmaker? Are you someone from a school, or even are you a hairdresser? Are you being effective with your water use? Or how can you affect hope would be entirely to the responsibility that you take because you wanted it. You take that response. No excuses. Whatever occupation you are in, you can make change. Someone, a small person, or maybe even an elder, is going to look up to you. And that's the effect of you taking responsibility. Someone would look up to you and say, she's doing something, and I even have 40 hours of work, and I have weekends. I don't even have weekends. So take that responsibility of being a beacon. You're holding a light. You're holding a light, and a small light, you can pass that light to another person, and then it would just illuminate. It's quite cheesy to think about it, but hope is like holding a piece of candle, and that flame can illuminate other candles. And the next thing you know, if you collect the flames, it's going to be a bright light. So if we put ourselves in that situation, I think you can. So stop making excuses. I'm not talking like an entrepreneur now, but we have to stop making excuses and try to fix something that we can control. So I think that's what I did. You would have bad days. You would have rainy days, Chris, that no one's responding. Everything's not working towards where you wanted it to go. But again, we go back. It wouldn't last. It's gonna go better the next day. So get over it and start to put on the flame to other people. So I think that's the whole essence of hope.
That's good advice. It's so simple. Get over it. I love that.
It's true, right?
It is true. It's actionable. You have to do something. You really do. Sitting on the couch doesn't accomplish much. It really doesn't.
It doesn't. But I mean, if you're just going to be sitting on the couch with your phone, might as well share something important, or something that would inspire, something that would change people's lives, or mentality. I think it can be done. And the time is now. We should start now. There's no other time but now. So that's all where I live for. Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so for people who want to find out more, and I'm sure they do, how in the world can we track you down? Is there a website, social media, blog? What do you have out there?
Well, I use my Twitter only for water events and spreading awareness on water. So you can reach me at J-O. All of my information are there. Okay. So my friends call me Joe. So my LinkedIn account is all there too. So all of the people that I meet and engage with, I just speak with them over social media. And I'm telling you, Chris, I have arranged and organized crowdfunding events that I didn't even meet the donors. So it can be done. We can make a difference.
Yes, it can. All right, I'm going to make sure I get this Twitter handle, all your social media handles right. Is it your name? So is it, tell me your name.
J-O.
J-O.
J-O-B-A-C-A-L-L-O. That's my, it's Joe Bacallo at twitter.com, or you can just type in there.
Good. So J-O-B-A-C-A-L-L-O.
That's right, Chris. Yeah.
Awesome. And what we're going to do, we'll also put all of that at iShareHope.com. So under the interviews tab, if anybody's listening, they're out for a run, can't write something down right now, just head back to iShareHope.com. Under Joe's name, We're gonna put her link, social media, notes about this stuff, quotes from her, all that stuff, so you can find it super, super simple.
I think when they're running and they're hearing my podcast, they would be like, "Get over it! Oh, okay, I have to do this."
Yeah.
I think
They're running faster, or they're getting really thirsty. Listen to you talk about
exactly.
water. I just want some water.
Yeah.
I tell you what, it's been so fun talking to you. It really has.
Thank you, Chris.
So one more
Chris.
question about flights. So what is we all sit on flights and we see people coming and going with all these bags.
Shoot me all your questions.
Yeah, what's the craziest thing you've seen somebody try to get on the airplane and cram in the overhead bin?
When I see a person, well, first of all, the flight attendant is actually there to help you in an emergency.
Right. You're a safety person before you're
safety person.
Yeah.
Yes. But of course, we do the service most of the time. And I think I work for the best airline. So the standards are very high. And I make sure I implement it because I'm one of the ones in charge. If I see a person who is just like all over the place and just like, whatever, I usually calm them down and introduce myself. And again, there is a human part and a different culture when people are 40,000 feet. They always feel anxious for some reason, and you don't know why they're traveling. But if you have to take 2 seconds and be human to them, they would usually calm down. But definitely I would not give any alcohol or something like that because they would get more aggravated. And it happens all the time, Chris.
I'm sure it does. I love flying. I love sitting and watching people because people do. Humanity changes when you're on an airplane. For some reason, everybody's a little bit different.
I'm telling I think it's the oxygen saturation or lack of water, Chris. So I'm telling you, you should hydrate every time that you fly.
I'm going to try that next time. I'll be flying here in a few more weeks. I'm definitely trying that. That's great. All right, Joe.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Chris.
It's been a privilege. Have a great day.
I enjoyed it, Chris. Thank you.
Oh, one more thing before you leave. I forgot. One more thing.
Yeah.
We have each of our guests say their name and something about you and I Share Hope. So we can put that at the beginning of the audio podcast. So I'll be quiet, and you just say your name, something about you, and I Share Hope.
Is it ready to go?
It's ready. You can go whenever you like. Yeah. You're good at this.
My name is Joana Bacallo, and I'm a water entrepreneur. I'm a water girl. I'm a flight attendant by day. But the most important thing is I share hope. Thank you.
That was really good. I love it. Okay. Thank you very much, Joe. Have a great day.
Chris.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Chris. Bye.
Bye.
You've just listened to I Share Hope. If you're ready to make a change, head to our website at isharehope.com and claim your free copy of the Top 10 Actions of Hope from World Leaders to use hope in your own life. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.